Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today a ratio of entertainment. Few people know this, but Aristotle actually invented the episodic format that we see today in a wide variety of content. He described a circumstance in one of his aesthetic works associated with an audience returning periodically and leaving some content in the same state that they originally arrived. It is the blueprint for a wide variety of episodic forms, most notably television. When I was a teenager in Australia, I used to watch The Simpsons. In fact, I still watch The Simpsons occasionally, and through developing Noble Ape, a fellow who is the head of background art on The Simpsons, let's just call him Mike, contacted me about 3 years ago, and I've actually met the gentleman when I was in Burbank, looked him up, and we had a meal together, his girlfriend, me, and him. Very nice. But The Simpsons ratio, as I am going to define it, predates my experience knowing Mike. In fact, really, it was an experience in my late teens associated with the consistency of content that I saw on The Simpsons. To be frank, some of The Simpsons episodes weren't really that good. But a number were, and through this I started to realise that there was a ratio that permeated these episodes in order for folks to come back on a regular basis and continue to watch The Simpsons. This ratio was as follows, and it's not an exact ratio, but it gives some indication of creating episodic content with sufficient interest to get people coming back. For every 2 good episodes, funny, hilariously funny, there would be 1 average episode, and then 2, kind of ho-hum episodes. And in some seasons I found the ratio was actually more divided, 3 funny episodes, 3, okay episodes, and 4 kind of stinker episodes. The trick with the ratio is that the good and average episodes outweigh the stinker episodes. And in fact, the good episodes are, of a sufficient number that they're still memorable and still thought about. This notion of the Simpsons ratio is not something that I explicitly think about with regards to the content that I create. But I am very mindful that I need to keep the ratio of stinkers to good and okay, where the good and okay are higher than the stinkers, and ideally the good outweigh the stinkers. Ideally, although it's not always the case. And if I keep my batting average, for want of a better term, slightly above this ratio, I can rest assured that at least the demographics that I'm interested in covering in my various bits of content are going to be satisfied, and the audience will continue to grow up until some kind of ceiling, which may or may not exist. With this ratio in mind, you start looking at episodic content very differently, and you start to realise that actually all you need to do is have a slightly higher than average standard, where what is higher than average, what is pushing the average ratio up, is considerably better than normal. And through this, you can create content that people will come back to and also talk positively about. Word of mouth is important here. Try this algorithm out for yourself. Try watching maybe 5, maybe 10 episodes of a particular program. Rate the episodes accordingly. Work out how it fits together. And you will see, perhaps, the emergence of the Simpsons ratio, which I think is so important when creating content. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.